How's it going, guys? Today is Monday, February 18th, and you're listening to episode number 41 of the Galatic Gaming News Podcast. I'm your host, Jimmy. Alongside me, as always, is Eric.
Hey, girl, hey.
And Eric, we got a special little thing going on here today. Are you excited?
Me?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not excited at all. I'm just...
We have two very special guests today. We have Edmund and Danielle McMillen on the show. And just give them the Galactic Gaming News welcome, whatever that may be. Yay!
I don't want to be too quiet. They're all quiet about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Oh,
welcome.
were we supposed to do the welcome?
No, you can do whatever.
I thought we were welcoming the people listening to it.
No, we don't have to welcome them.
Welcome.
Welcome.
It's good to be
They're not
there.
even real.
Yeah. We don't have real listeners. We just, I constantly sit up all night and spam the listen to the podcast button, and that's why we have all the listens we do, so it's cool. But
I used to do that when you could get 25 cents per banner click
there you go.
in the day.
See, we haven't utilized that yet.
Could you imagine 25 cents per click? That's what it used to be.
I would just sit there and just click all day.
Yeah, it's pretty broken. Well, there's a reason why it crumbled within a few months
Yeah.
of that.
But anyway, I just want to, before we get into any questions or whatever, I just want to thank you two for coming on and giving us this opportunity to sit down and talk to you guys.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
We should probably do the full disclosure that we were probably on hour 20 of staying up at this point, and this is after a 2-day stint of so our schedule's messed up because of when you make games. Well, for me at least, I get more productive as the day goes by, and then that pushes into you're going to bed at 2, you're going to bed at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then when you're going to bed at 8 in the morning, it's to the point where you're waking up at a time where everything is closing, and you're living in a different world completely. So once we do that for an extended period of time, we're like, all right, well, it's time to switch it around. And in order to do that, you basically stay up for 24 hours, sleep for 8 hours, 24 hours, sleep for 8 hours, and then you push your schedule into what people call normal. So we're trying to do that, and we're on day 3. So tomorrow we should be on a pretty normal schedule if we're able to sleep. Well, we have to stay up for a few more hours, but we're semi-delirious right now. But I think I'm in a good space.
No.
Loose.
Delirious is always a good
Might as well be on some sort of drug.
Yeah, real loose.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone here at the GGN offices, we're always on drugs, so it's cool. We just...
And loose.
And loose, yes. Thanks to Eric.
Well, I gotta do what I've got to do.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
We're gonna try not to GameSpot you guys on this interview either.
I don't even remember what happened at the GameSpot interview. You mentioned that before. What happened? What was the issue?
Basically,
guys...
it started off, because I actually watched it, because Eric, you mentioned it, and I think this is the right one, where he's like, which one of you had the fucked up childhood?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
And it's just it was just an awkward silence. It's just
I
kinda
remember
weird.
that.
I do remember that. And it was kind of wait, what if I really had, this really fucked up childhood? Yeah. Why would you be asking me that question?
That's what some people, it's funny, because, some people miss the mark. They're he's, Ed and Tommy, they're weird and funny. I'm going to be weird and funny. And it's whoa, no, that you took it too far.
Yeah, we're so isolated in this little bubble that sometimes it's really odd to, run into somebody who is probably a legitimate fan, and then they throw something out that that they think that you think that it's funny, but it's way off the mark.
They just sound like I have people do it to me on Twitter, and I'm thinking they were probably so excited that they thought of something to tweet at me, and they completely put me off.
So during that interview, I expected you to break, I would have maybe messed with them and just started breaking down and been why did you bring that up, man? Come on.
I did mess with them to a certain degree in the beginning.
Was it in person though, or was it?
Yeah, it was in person. We actually went out there. There have been some interviews that Tommy and I did though. If you scour the internet, where if they got we had some beauties.
They're like art.
They are. If they got bad, that we just decided that we'll kind of just go with it and decide we're going to play these different characters now and drift off into whatever. We'll switch roles completely, or Tommy will have a breakdown.
Yeah, this one guy, when they realized that the guy had absolutely no idea who they were.
Oh.
Or anything about Meat Boy, I think before Meat Boy came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of awesome, though, because some developers, like, when they're interviewed, they're so stone-faced, no emotion, nothing, you know. And to see some of those interviews is really funny. So I think that's the right way to go about it.
It was just really messed up to me that Ed and Tommy had just sat down, and the guy's like, Edmund McMillen and Tommy Rannerfurs, and Tommy just keeps the straight face, and he's like, yeah, that's right. It's like, oh shit. Yeah. Tommy looks like he's about to snap and just fucking murder everybody.
The best and worst by far interview. We got invited back on a show that we didn't really want to do, and it was because the last one was just awful, and we kind of fucked with them a bit, but not that much. Got invited on again. They proceeded to interview somebody else the whole show and then ended it. And we're like, what? Why were we here? And they're like, oh, we just asked if you wanted to just come on for the show. And I'm like, well, what? Like, we took out the time for this. Like, we set aside this time because you guys asked if we could come on for your anniversary show, and you just interviewed somebody else and then ended the show. And they're like, oh, well, you know, we just wanted you to just sit around and hang out. And we're like, what?
They got kind of snotty, though.
Yeah, and it got a little weird. And then, like, I just started saying the most horrible and offensively crude things I could imagine because they scolded me for like, I think saying shit or something early on. And
for saying that Sony is the
that was at the end. They're like, we're going to talk. They're like, fine, we'll keep you in. We'll do a serious discussion about video games.
Oh no, I know what was at the end.
And I was like, oh, yeah, well, let's do that. And they're like, oh, what's your opinion on Sony? And I'm like, I don't know. I'd say Sony's the taint of the video industry. And they're like, Edmund and Tommy, this is serious time, and if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. And then they're talking about raping children, I believe, on meth. And
the final straw was something about a black man's shit in your mouth.
Oh.
Keep doing a black man shit.
I wanted to know when the cutoff point would be. When would I be cut off?
Where's that line?
Yeah.
You know?
But the best part is that after they cut us off, Tommy said, what the fuck, why'd you cut us off? You asked us on, and then they guilted him to let us come back on the show, where I proceeded to just say the gayest shit I could possibly say for the rest of the half an hour that they, like, awkwardly had kept us on. And I don't even find that podcast, but if you can, it's really good.
There's no line here. There's no line here on this podcast, though. So...
Yeah.
We've delved pretty deep into some shit before, so I really don't think so.
But I think that, coming on, I think the most pressing question, the most important, obviously, that I'm curious about is, how was Valentine's Day in the McMillen house?
Oh, it was eventful. What did we do?
I know, like, I remember people going, what are you doing for Valentine's? Or what are you guys doing tonight? And I'm like, what?
This was like, we usually do stuff on these different occasions. We used to always have a fight or something horrible would happen. It was always just, like, doomed. Like, it was like your birthday. Your birthday was always doomed as well. Like, if something was coming up like that...
we met when I was 15, so once I reached about 22, I think I got better.
Yeah. Because we just decided that, like, when those kind of events happen, that we just act like they're not a big deal at all and don't plan anything, and then we'll have fun with it. This time we just didn't plan anything, and we didn't really do anything.
No, it's too... Like, we just had Christmas.
Yeah, the time is, like, just flown by really quick.
Oh my god, time goes by so fast now. It's crazy. And gift giving and things is horrible... Because Ed can get whatever Legos and such things that he wants whenever he wants, instead of, like, letting me get them for his birthday or something. So we just had Christmas. Then there was Valentine's Day. Nothing happened because I am too busy trying to not kill myself while I'm shipping things from the shop. And then
you're like the Phil Fish of plush and merchandise.
if one person asks me where their order is, I will cold-blooded fucking murder them. And then Ed's birthday is on March 2nd.
Mark it on your calendar.
So, oh my god, today's the 18th.
Yeah.
I don't have... Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, my birthday really is coming up, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
He is going to be old.
30 old.
And then, in April, is our wedding anniversary. So,
Oh, man, you guys all kinds of stuff coming up.
oh my... Holy hell.
Well, we'll improvise it. I'm going to make up for Valentine's Day because one of the things that we've gained access to staying up late or whatever is that we can go to things that we couldn't normally go to, and there's this it's called Vision Quest.
Vision Quest.
Yeah.
It sounds like doing drugs, but it's not.
All it is like the behind the scene tours of a semi-local zoo.
Yeah.
And you get to feed the animals and stuff,
And,
but you have to go really fucking early in the morning.
You get to wash an elephant.
Oh,
So
man.
that'll be our future Valentine's Day.
Wasn't that also the name of that game that Phil Fish made on that old computer where he stared into it and had an epileptic seizure?
Yeah.
Vision Quest.
Okay, for Valentine's Day, what did we do? We did something.
I don't remember. We went over to the kid's house. We went over to my mom's house.
We went to Ed's mom's house and we gave her a gift and one of our nephews. And then we went to my sister's house and gave our other niece and nephew their gifts.
And got lice.
Oh, wow.
No, we didn't. We didn't pick up lice. Hopefully, this is the same place where the dirty chicken was.
There's also a rat that's just full of tumors.
It's not a rat. It's a mouse.
It might as well be a rat. It's that big. It's that big because it's full of tumors, and no one will kill the goddamn. It's like, oh, what's that? I don't know. Oh, it's just this. It's this hair. It's now hairless. All of its hair is falling out, and all it is just. It looks like a mulligan from Binding of Isaac. It's just this lumpy. It's this lumpy mound of flesh that's quivering in the corner and it's we'll just look the other way and act like it's not there.
Well, my sister tried to build a gas chamber, and out of vinegar and baking soda.
I don't know where did she reach this?
We Googled it.
That's not how it works.
But so now, since we were over there this morning, every 20 minutes or so, Ed goes, "Oh, I know," and then has a new idea for how to kill the mouse.
There we go.
An easy way to kill the mouse that's not traumatic for the mouse or anybody else involved,
is putting it in the freezer, but nobody will do that.
Yeah, but that's more traumatic than...
This sounds like a game idea.
It goes to sleep. Just smashing the mouse is traumatic.
No, smashing the mouse is traumatic to the person who smashes the mouse, but it's not traumatic to the mouse.
No, because do you know how many tumors you're going to hit before you actually break its head?
No,
man.
You roll over the head. It doesn't matter.
Wait, with your body?
With the fucking car! With the tire!
You put it on your bed and you go to sleep. And
you put it under your pillow, and when you wake up, it's dead.
You wait till you smell a smell.
I was just thinking you just put it something over it and hit it with a hammer, and then you bury it. I'm done with it.
A midget.
I say see what the chickens do with it.
Yeah, they'll tear that shit apart.
They'd be afraid of it.
Every tumor is a new meal.
Okay.
Fucking the chicken is sick. The kids have lice. Kids have pink eye.
It's a good time.
My nephew has a little hole in his head from hitting it on something. It's a mess.
Oh, man.
So this is how the Binding of Isaac came around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is. The Isaac was kind of the way he looks was kind of based on my nephew Eli, who has big eyes, looks sad all the time, and he's very toe-headed, so he kind of looks.
Yeah, and oh my God, he loves Isaac, and he knows every single thing about it.
Oh yeah, he knows everything about it. He's only still 3.
I think he's 4 now.
He's 4.
He knows the biblical background.
No, he knows the game.
He can't play it yet because he can't do
Yeah, he can't control that thing
with the
keys.
He's great with an Xbox controller.
He plays Meat Boy. He's really good at Meat Boy. He can. I mean, when he was 3, he could beat Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 and Meat Boy pretty effortlessly. So.
Wow,
I can't even beat Chapter 2.
Yeah. Ahead of me already.
I'm glad somebody can. That's way younger than me. I sat down and played it with my 5-year-old niece a couple of nights ago. She was talking about how the power had gone out, and she was afraid of monsters coming to get her. So I was showing her some of the most grotesque things and talking about how, in a lot of cases, these grotesque monsters are actually the good guy. It's like in The Binding of Isaac. In the end, he's the most grotesque motherfucker in the world, yet he's the savior in the end, I guess, in a way. That sounds really weird to call him the savior, especially with the background, but nonetheless, he's Jesus.
I definitely have a thing about making ugly things cool, I guess. I want the ugly things to be the winners.
Yeah, but he could tell you all about it because he doesn't play it, but he watches Let's Plays, like, just by himself. Somehow goes on YouTube.
Which is dangerous, because once you, like, let him alone on there and he starts, like, clicking all the suggested things, he comes across... Like, he got in trouble the other week at school because he was telling all the kids that in Plants vs. Zombies, there's a zombie that's got really big boobs, and that you can see its boobs. Yeah. And we're like, because we're friends with the creators of that game, and we're like, I just thought it was funny, that this happened, and then he got in trouble for it, and no one questioned the fact that he does play Plants vs. Zombies, but he mostly plays it via YouTube videos. And we just finally asked him, because they were clueless on, like, Eli, like, where did you see this zombie with big boobs?
There's absolutely no zombies.
There's no girl zombies in that game.
In that game.
So and we're like, we'll just ask him, Eli, where'd you see the boobs? And he's like, on YouTube. There's a YouTube video animation of the zombie. That shows
See, that's how you end up at the weird places of the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So we got this 3-year-old kid roaming the internet willy nilly, and it's like, oh my god. I can only imagine the stuff that he hears and or sees with Binding of Isaac.
YouTube's like the only place you can start watching the most innocent thing, and then 10 minutes later, you're like completely opposite.
Just... Danielle has some horror stories.
How did I end up here? Oh man, I feel nasty now, man.
She was. I think she was 2, and we were looking at pictures of videos of kittens, and then all of a sudden. I don't know if you've seen it before. Maybe it's The Ugliest Dog in the World. Like, that's its title. And it's like this hairless dog that doesn't have teeth. And
it doesn't have eyes.
It has, like, glaucoma, and its tongue is hanging out because it doesn't have teeth to hold it in. It like, got really big on the screen and then did a scream.
It was a scare video.
Oh, man.
And it's a 3-year-old that's watching it with her.
And then I got scared, and I screamed. And
oh god!
The whole night she was saying, "Monster doggy." And I just kept saying he's nice and he's old, and she just kept repeating that. Oh, terrible.
If it makes you feel better, somehow I'm dicking around on the internet, and a certain person who will remain nameless, my editor-in-chief, he sends me a video of a lady rapper named Lady, and all of a sudden, for the next couple of months, I have a song called Pussy Be Twerkin' stuck in my head.
It's yankin', not twerkin'.
Oh, sorry, my pussy be yankin'. And it's been stuck in my head ever since, but I've been saying twerkin'.
Well, because she has another video called Twerkin', so...
What does that mean, yankin'? How do you yankin'?
I don't know.
I never figured that out. She's surrounded by strippers, though.
I don't know if I want to know.
She yanks her vagina?
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe maybe it's Arby's downstairs. I'm not sure.
Because if there's a thing that you can do, I want what it is. What is yank on it?
What is it? The song is My Pussy Be Yankin'?
Yeah.
I guess so.
I don't look up what the slang is for yankin'.
No. I'm pretty interested to figure this out, actually.
Something that...
I'm glad that somehow Ed has found this more interesting than I have, because I haven't even looked it up to figure it out. I guess it was something about not having a vagina that I was just like, lady bits.
Oh yeah, by lady.
By lady.
Let's discuss yankin' by lady. They're trying to figure it out. This is actually like a real thing.
Oh no.
Like a forum
It says yankin' is a term used to refer to a vagina with multiple STDs.
There we go.
Often with physical blisters.
Oh.
That seems like an odd thing to...
Why would you sing about that?
I don't know.
I once played a game about that. It was called The C Word or Cunt. And there's this guy must have been a pretty interesting guy to be making this game. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but You're
a
a
misogynist.
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of also reading this. This person says that yanking refers to the idea that her pussy yanks men in like her direction.
Oh God.
Like
there's
it's in dudes. But yeah, go ahead.
There's speaking of you being a misogynist, I didn't mean to get off the other topic, but I kind of needed to. I was watching a video the other night. I was going through a lot of other interviews with you just so we didn't repeat a bunch of the shit that other people have asked you. And I came across the video, I believe it was called Let's Hate Edmund McMillen. And it was a feminazi. And she first had Gish on her screen, and she said she didn't even know how to play Gish and hasn't even played Gish, but she hates it because there's a damsel in distress, and why can't it be a woman saving a guy? And then it goes into how you're an abusive dick. Yeah. And next thing you know, she turns on Super Meat Boy, and she's like, the bandage girl's getting punched. This guy's just a pile of meat, and this guy is a misogynist dick for making this game. I'm going to go back and play Geesh. I'm going to go play Geesh. I'm like, oh, fuck, stop it. And, like, she doesn't understand the Street Fighter references or anything else. Like, Dr. Fetus is just beating the shit out of her, and that explains that apparently Ed must beat Danielle, but then again, apparently Danielle doesn't exist to this girl because Ed's a fucking monster.
I like how she was also mad that the character has boobs when it's based on me, and I guess I'm a bad woman because I have boobs, and I don't have a fucking mustache.
I've been known to criticize some things before in gaming and everything, but I do my research first, and this girl had no idea. It's like nobody understands that Meat Boy is Ed and Bandage Girl is Danielle. And for somebody to miss something like that and pull the PETA on it is completely ridiculous.
Tofu boy.
Yeah, I actually like.
Well, then we had a guy respond to that video.
No. Okay, so how it started was
responded to
no, he was the one that made the initial video, which was broken as all fuck, and he was one of those white knight feminists.
It was like,
crossing his fingers that he's gonna get laid one day for protecting all these women from all harsh things.
Yeah,
that are being done.
It was so sad. And then I had like a little fight with him back and forth on Twitter, and then it came out that he is raising his daughter or something, and I'm like, your fucking wife left you with your kid because you have such a huge vagina. How more undesirable could you possibly be?
He made this video, and then he has a bunch of people that followed him, and then she made a video, and I felt almost bad that she was so misinformed, like just so incredibly misinformed, that I actually went on my way to contact her.
Oh, yeah.
And I usually will do this. Like, I'll do, before I don't want to, like, knock anybody publicly if they're just misinformed or ignorant in some way. I don't want to pick on, somebody who is so easy to pick on.
Yeah, people got word of it, or found out about it, and then they were like, telling her what an idiot she was.
Yeah, and then I tried. I tried to explain myself, and she wasn't going to hear it at all.
Well, no. I mean,
there's never any. It's just like much like talking to a religious person about their religion.
If you contort the penis in a certain way, it looks like 666, and that's why she wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the internet is an interesting place, but at this point, I don't look at much anymore.
I can't believe
to anything involving myself. So
I can't blame you, because it seems like as time has gone on, and even after The Binding of Isaac came out, and your name just keeps on getting bigger and bigger as it goes along, and then you see other people that you wouldn't think they'd know anything about you, and there was a heavily religious man just bashing the fuck out of you, talking about how you need God in your life, and I'm just like, man, really? When Ed sees this shit, I wonder if he just sits there and wants to just kill somebody.
I'd like to actually see that.
If I can find it again, I will send it. It's one of those things with what we do, like we can't respond back to people. I've had people criticize some of the articles I've written, and one time I've responded with I don't remember if it said kiss me or blow me or something, or kiss my ass or blow me. Yeah, kiss me or blow me. But then I had to take it down. Everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh fuck! I know I shouldn't do that. I know I shouldn't." So now it's like you can't respond.
It's hard not to take the bait. Like that's kind of what it is. Like it's hard not to knee jerk and want to be like, "Suck a dick," you know, like, "Hey, fuck you." It's very hard at times. I mean, I do try, like, I try to reserve my responses to occasions where it's like, if you really think something about me, or, you know, you hate me in some crazy way and you want to speak negatively about me or whatever, and I'll entertain that to the point of, like, getting into an actual discussion with the person and trying to talk it out, because there's a broken part of me that wants to understand why people have fucked up brains and all this other stuff.
Where the normal person would just have completely given up.
Yeah, like, I want to understand.
Yeah.
I want to understand what you don't understand and why you don't understand it.
I want to smash.
But that sometimes that gets me just as much in trouble as, you know, telling somebody to fuck off. And
So when you make some of these games, or when they finally come out, do you go on the internet and look for what people are saying about? I mean, like, maybe not necessarily review scores, but more of like the users and what they're saying about it. Like, do you go and search all that stuff, or do you just casually browse?
So I used to. Like, I'd say it's almost been a year now, maybe like, no, almost a year, maybe 9 months or something, where, like, since the movie came out on Netflix, or a little bit before that, around the time the movie was actually coming out, I was getting too much attention, and I was almost obsessively, like, searching, you know, what are people saying about my work, and what are people... It went from what people are saying about my work to what people are saying about me. And it got really weird, and it got into this kind of shaky ground where, like, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Like, I shouldn't be seeing it. It just got to the point where it was...
it started as something necessary.
Yeah, it did. Like when Meat Boy was being developed, and I was like, oh my god, I'm investing my life and other people's lives in this project. I need to get serious, and I need to see what people are saying and what they like and what they don't like, so I can use it in the future and, like, just get a good idea of what people like, what people don't like, and why they don't like it. Not like I'm going to customize whatever I'm working on for them, but I want to understand.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have that kind of perspective. But it went from something innocent and well-meaning like that, but into something more, like, self-indulgent and, like, kind of just awful. And not only was it just not productive in any way for me, it got bad to the point where, like, I could read a positive article about me or anything I've done or about the movie, and it could be saying the most amazing things ever, and I'll just skip down to the comments and somebody will say I'm a fat faggot loser or whatever else, and then I'll just think, that's all people think. And I know, like, Tommy has experienced the same sort of thing too, where it's hard not to... It's like the positive things, just you glaze over them after a while. But the negative things, even if they're fucking retarded, sometimes they just, like, haunt. Yeah. They just sit there.
Eat at you.
And sometimes it's not like... It's like, I don't fucking care who the fuck thinks I'm a fat faggot. That doesn't really matter to me. But certain things just linger longer than they should.
It was me.
Yeah. But... And it was like that. It just got into, like, dangerous territory where I could be reading something and it could kind of ruin my day.
Oh, a waste of fucking time.
It is, yeah. It's also a huge waste of time. And I was like... And then it got to the point where people were hacking me and, like...
Oh, yeah,
making really, like, mean and just vicious kind of videos and comments. And it just got out of hand. So I was like, okay, fuck it. No, I don't need to... There's nothing that... Number one, it's none of my business what people say about me. That took me a while to realize, too. It's just such a foreign fucking thing. Like,
I kept saying it, though. Took him forever to get it, though.
Yeah, going from, you know, where I was to where I'm at now, it's been a very confusing and alien transition, and it's a learning experience like anything else. Like, I learned fairly quickly that it's none of my business what people say about me, so I don't look at it anymore. And ever since I stopped looking, my life has been immensely better, and I've actually gotten a lot more work done.
There you go.
So for the most part, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know review scores for Isaac. I don't even know.
But, like,
how it really
if there is just like with anything, if there's, like, a really good review or something like that, we'll find out about it.
Yeah, someone will. If it's worth me seeing, somebody will tell, multiple people will be like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And that's usually how I find it. And like I do the safe stuff though. Like I don't want. I struggled with it because I don't want to be. There's a type of person I don't want to be, and like I remember when I was a lot younger, I somehow got John Kay's AIM name, and he's the guy who made Ren and Stimpy, and he was like my idol. And I got his AIM name, and I started talking to him, and I hate talking about this publicly, but basically, he turned out to be kind of not the person I thought he was, and he seemed very, just like bitter and jaded, and just not this like inspired creative person that I thought he was. Maybe he did get shit on, it's understandable, but like there's just a certain person I don't want to be and I don't want to appear, and I felt like cutting myself off completely from the internet and from any fans who'd want to ask me anything, or just being this reclusive person. I didn't want to be that, so I wanted to just kind of put up a safety barrier. So I made like a form spring and my personal blog, and if fans want to ask me questions, they can, but for the most part in Twitter, I don't really look at anybody tweeting at me, and I don't obsess over the same sort of stuff I did before and go after, and because I've made myself a little less accessible, I have noticed that from comments that I do see, it's gotten a lot nicer in a way, because the trolls only troll you when you read. If you ignore them, they just fade away, because then they realize, oh, I'm doing this for nothing and I'm really wasting my time. But shit, you have to deal with, and you grow calloused over the years, and I'm quite calloused at this point. But it's still better for me to not indulge in any of that sort of stuff, and I'm fucking overhearing myself and anything about me. I just want to make games, and I still love talking about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll always be
God, I hope so.
excited about what I'm working on. I hope, at least.
It's kind of with the movie too, since this happened last time we stayed up like this and we were getting out early. People recognize us constantly in our town, and we can't do anything without being recognized. So yeah, we're a little over ourselves.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's odd.
This morning we were sitting outside eating lunch, or afternoon eating lunch, brunch. The people at the table next to us recognized us, and then like the busboy kind of helper waiter came and refilled our coffee, and then told us that he recognized us and that Ed created a superhero and that we were both superheroes.
Oh.
And I was like,
Shit.
oh.
Kind of celebrities, pretty much,
That's like, you mentioned a couple of different things. One of them you scratched off my list. I was going to ask you if there was any kind of inspiration from Ren and Stimpy, so that goes right off of my list.
Yeah.
You mentioned how you've become quite accessible in some sorts of ways, and you don't come off as the dick that all the people that make Let's Hate Edmund McMillen videos make, so I really appreciate that. And Danielle I'd never really heard speak until the Indoor Kids, which is really odd to me that nobody had ever interviewed her, especially after Indie Game the movie, or at least not that I've heard or have made it really public. And you guys come off like the absolute nicest people in the world.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy actually like witnessing it firsthand like we are right now, and it really just, it doesn't come off like an act or anything like that. It seems like you guys are actually really appreciative of where fans have gotten you, and you really try to give back in multiple ways, especially with adding items to this is for Rebirth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So adding items to the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, like asking people what they'd like to see and everything. You give back to your fans in such great and amazing ways through the games that you make, adding things to them, the merchandise, which is
amazing.
Yeah, amazing will work. I couldn't think of a word. I almost just spouted off some nonsensical bullshit. It's just like you guys do everything right, and do you think that's the indie mentality and not being corrupted? Well, I don't know if corrupted's the right way, but not being touched by
Corrupted by the
bigger
big bad
developers that
publishers.
just don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it is just growing up in the 90s and appreciating certain things that seem to be in abundance.
But it also has to, I think, like, just being genuine and doing exactly what we enjoy and exactly how basically treating people how we would want to be treated. I'm making things, and my mom is making things that me and Ed would want to buy. Because we love merchandise, and if there's something that we like, we will buy everything for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the core of it is just honesty.
I don't know if it's an indie... I don't think it's an indie mentality, because I think there's other indies out there that would be like, how is this... How are they doing this? It's like there's some secret.
No,
like,
I think I really...
Just like with making games, like there's some secret, and it's like there's no... You just do it.
You just do it because you like doing it. Like
you just make a good game.
It really does, like... for me, I think growing up in the early 90s really helped that. Like, the early 90s was full of this, like... This very obvious and... crazy, like, for me at least, I felt like I was surrounded with people who were like independently driven to make really cool stuff, and that the standard of the quality of the work wasn't dependent on how much they were making from it, but just their own personal level of quality that they wanted to strive for. I don't need to do anything to Rebirth for it to sell. Like, I just give them Rebirth and say, hey, remake Binding of Isaac as is, and people will fucking buy it. You could sell it for $20, people will buy it. But I'm not doing that. Like, I'm going the extra mile because I love what I'm doing and I want to make something really good that I can be proud of. And I think both of us have that kind of in us where we just want to, like, do something fun. Number one, we enjoy it. Like, we enjoy what we're doing. Want to do something fun, want to do something genuine, and do something that, like, gives and keeps giving, because it's kind of like this exchange where, the same as the shop, like, someone's paying you and then you're giving them something. There's this, like, back and forth, and with games there's that as well, where, like, I'm asking you to take what I've made and make it better by putting yourself into it and experiencing it, and then I get something back by seeing that happen. And it's like this little relationship in a way. And I think it's just I really enjoy doing all this stuff, and I love, like, doing the things that I wish that I had gotten or whatever, like when we do, like, special edition retail box stuff or whatever. I try to go the extra mile with that because I've been disappointed so many times with things that I loved that did special edition stuff and just did not put any extra time into it.
The way the Meat Boy, that dev book, came about was Ed bought, like, a Nintendo something anniversary thing, and he mostly just wanted this little book that it came with. He opened it and it was just shit.
It was the most disappointing.
Did you get a warranty?
I walked. What was it? I have it above me here. I'll actually grab it. It was the Mario Super Mario anniversary.
Yeah.
What, 20th anniversary or something? I go into GameStop and I see it.
I have that sitting right next to me right now, actually.
Yeah, and Super Mario history thingy. And the whole thing was there was an ad for the booklet, and the fact that it had, like, the soundtracks on it. And you also get the game with it. It was bundled with it. And I'm like, on the thing of the book looked like it was really thick.
It's a pamphlet.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit, I will pay anything for that booklet.
That's your childhood, you know.
Yeah, and because I'm like, I could just imagine what's in here, like, all the original sketches and stuff. Like, oh my god, it'd be so great. And I open it up, and it's like, oh my god.
It's a book of disappointment.
Every bit of Mario clip art I've seen 1,000 times. Every sprite I've seen 1,000 times. And, like, 2 pages of graphs.
Yeah.
Graph paper with some sketches on it that don't tell me shit. Like, I'm looking at a page right now. I have it open right now. It's 2 pages of a bunch of... It's a pile of graph paper with all these level stuff on it. I just want the fucking full scan of the paper. I want to see it better.
Yeah.
Photoshopped a Goomba on it.
Yeah, I know. Just all over it. Like, just give me a scan of
Just the
level
inside
1-1 on
look.
graph paper that was originally real. This is the stuff too. Like I'm right now in the mode of like kind of in a way collecting art, like collecting stuff that I view as great art. Like I have like a Sam Keith piece that he actually did for me, and I have Daniel Johnston drawing, and actually have a page out of the Necronomicon from Evil Dead 2, like actual prop.
Oh.
These are the things that I'm like collecting. And
Yeah, we're becoming art collectors of stuff that no one else
yeah,
wants.
that people come over and they're like, "Why is that a big deal? Who cares?"
Like, who did that? Your niece?
I want this. I want one of these graph paper pages that's in this book. I want to frame that shit, and I want it on my wall.
You hear that,
Yeah.
Nintendo? There's possibilities here. Come on.
Well, I mean, there's always microtransactions. EA's putting them in all their games now, so maybe through some kind of microtransaction network, you can actually earn a piece of art after buying 40 of their games.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you go.
That'd be the microtransaction I'm down with.
It sounds like a good idea. I mean, it doesn't take away from the game that it's sitting there in the corner that says, spend money for ammo or to speed up your robot.
Yeah, speed up that piece of original art. God, man, wouldn't you think that that's like gallery-worthy stuff? Like that would just be like, God, that would be awesome to have like an original graphed level 1-1 graph paper framed thing from Mario 1 in your house. Like
No one
fuck.
considers. Oh God! Have you guys seen a show called King of the Nerds?
I've heard about it. I have not watched it.
I have not. I don't.
Oh, it's just.
Is it bad? Good? What?
No.
Horrible?
Well, okay.
It's watchable.
It's
Okay,
watchable.
well.
But how old are you guys?
23.
I'm 24. No, I'm 25. Oh, shit.
I'm 23. I'm a youngin'.
Well, these people are about. I think they're about 23, 20, maybe the oldest person on there is 25. Just idiots.
Well, that's how 25-year-olds are. Oh,
Like the
God
worst
damn it.
kind of nerd that you would never ever want to hang out with. Their house is cool. It looks like Think Geek put it together. The house looks pretty amazing, but they're ugh. People that don't get Ed think that somebody recently was like, Ed should be on that show, and I was thinking Ed would go on there and emotionally crush all of those people. It would be rocking in a ball.
See, you're describing a part of me that nobody knows or sees.
Oh, he's a jerk.
I'm only a jerk to people who are jerks to me.
Well, it's like these guys that are. It's like a bunch of nerd boys that feel like they're alpha because they're smart.
Yeah.
But they're completely socially retarded. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you should see it. The girls are just butt ugly.
That one was not butt ugly.
Yeah, then that's the surfboard.
You know, it wouldn't be too bad to see ugly people in shows every now and then. I'm also a big zombie nerd, and I get really sick and tired of seeing zombies with the whitest, nicest teeth ever, and they're always the hottest zombie.
Yeah.
They're never ugly or anything, and that kind of really gets on my nerves.
There's no
I
ugly
wouldn't mind
people
seeing
in this
somebody
world.
ugly.
Are you referring to Are you talking about warm bodies?
Oh God, I don't want to talk about that. Oh.
Okay, because don't spoil anything. I'm reading the book right now, but I've seen the trailer once, so I know that the boy is
I've seen the movie.
Don't
It's
say anything.
It's just Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I thought the girl looked like she's 10 years old in the trailer, but I don't.
I know.
We just watched actually a pretty damn good horror movie. I was surprised that it was actually good in some odd ways. It was that Mama movie.
I've heard good things about it.
I thought you were going to talk about Loved Ones.
Loved One was a unique one too.
And it's Australian.
I liked the Mama movie because it seemed, I don't know, there were so many elements of it that seemed to just make sense and seemed like they thought about it. Like they actually thought about what they were writing, and it wasn't just some strewn together traditional horror film.
And the Kingslayer's in it.
The Kingslayer's in it. The effects were a bit off. I'm not a huge fan of like tons of 3D effects and stuff. Like I get the whole like things crawl around all weird on the ground and they move around like bugs and that's scary.
But there was a weird they had a weird kind of Pan's Labyrinth animation thing going on.
Yeah, there were some cool
like where it felt dreamy and it felt like the cabinet of Dr. Caligari in some parts.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, no, have you guys seen Record?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. So the original Record, the Spanish one, right?
Yeah, but it's not called Record, it's just called Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be like a douchey nerd.
You know what that stands for.
It stands for Record. But so you remember obviously the most memorable part of the movie at the end?
Yes.
The fucking monster. That is the most terrifying fucking monster in the world.
God. Rec. I love Rec. The American remake of that movie was not so great, though.
I didn't bother watching it. But yeah, I think the reason why that monster is so frighteningly awful is because that's a real person.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's like it's very important to have that like genuine movement. And I kind of wish in horror movies that people would get the fuck away from weird deformed spider movement.
Yeah.
In the American remake, they digitized that person instead, and like it didn't even have the same kind of effect. Like with Rec, you were generally like fucking scared, and with Quarantine,
because it was moving, because it was real, because it was a fucking it looked like a walking corpse. It was a real, incredibly emaciated person with good makeup on, and that was disturbing as all hell. And the second one was really good too. But yeah. And that's the segment on horror movies.
Well, Eric is very excited to see Warm Bodies, so we're going to get him to the theater and see that.
Fuck off.
The guy in that movie was a little boy in About a Boy, a movie with Hugh Grant.
I don't know.
From maybe 2002.
You're IMDb over here.
Yes.
I can't do the Warm Bodies thing. I'm into like the old black and white zombie movies and shit, like White Zombie and Night of the Living Dead, of course. And like seeing all of a sudden they're like, Twilight's big. Warm Bodies.
I know.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. But we should probably get to some of these fan questions.
Okay. No, sure. We got a couple for you.
Sorry, we've rambled a little bit.
No.
From Calvin Tomlinson. Oops. Sorry, Danielle. What was that?
Oh, I was just saying we're huge ramblers.
Oh no, that's definitely a good thing. I actually don't mind at all. But the fan people will be very upset if I don't ask such things from Calvin Tomlinson, like, what advice do you have for someone hoping to make indie games, both technically and personally? And maybe if you could, slip in a question about whether the Isaac remake will ever be on the 3DS.
All right. Well, so my brain's slowing down. So give me the first
for somebody who wants to make indie games.
Advice for somebody who wants to make indie games.
Both technically and personally.
Make sure you are both. This is my blanket statement. Make sure you're making indie games, or that you want to make indie games, because you've tried to make indie games and it's really fun and you really love it. Only make indie games if it haunts you daily, that you have like a book beside you that you have to wake up and write your ideas down in. Only make indie games if it's something that you want to live, because in order to realistically make a future and make a life and make money off of indie games, you're going to have to do it for a very long time, and you're I was just making sure he was recording.
Yeah, we're good.
That people they know this, like, in the back of their mind, but they just forget about it. That the more that you're focused on money, the further money will get from you. Like, the more you are so just like, how are they doing this? How do you do this? Oh, you make money by making indie games. I'm gonna do that.
Oh yeah, you know what a good analogy is? If you're going out on a date and you like the girl and you just want to have sex with her, You don't like constantly talk about having sex.
Yeah, like, hey.
Because the more eager you are about it, the further away it's going to get
the
from
more
you.
like totally gross you are.
Play it cool. Play it cool. It'll eventually happen. Just enjoy the time before it happens. That's a good analogy.
And you're not going to meet your wife on your first date, probably, either. Your very first date.
Exactly. You're probably going to have some horrible bitches to deal with.
Yeah.
Until you find the perfect one and it all works out. Sometimes maybe it's never going to work out and you're going to end up killing yourself.
That's how I feel about Eric.
No, maybe nobody wants to fuck you ever.
Yeah. Maybe you won't forever. But that's the gamble in indie games.
Yeah. And what was the second part of that question, Eric?
Personally?
Oh, the second part was...
Oh, the Rebirth. It was a Rebirth.
Yes. Will Rebirth be on the 3DS?
On 3DS. It'd be really nice. I think the chances are... I think the odds are in our favor at this point. Like, when we submitted it initially, it went all the way up the ranks and got full golden approval until the very end and then just got a last-minute rejection. But this was, like, long before the game was doing well, long before, almost 2 million people at this point actually purchased the game and loved the game, whatever else.
Maybe Nintendo will make a good decision.
Oh man, don't get me started on that.
But the odds are in our favor at this point, especially with I think the graphics in some bizarre world, the graphics changing into pixelated graphics somehow eases the story and theme in.
Retro is in, and also your grandma can play it with a balance board.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a great time.
That game, Rebirth, is gorgeous. I was amazed when I first saw the screenshots. I was like, what is this? Well, and at first I thought it was like an art project that somebody had done, but god damn, it looks great.
Well, that's kind of actually where it started, was I kept getting people sending me these screenshots of like 8-bit, 16-bit versions for just fun of The Binding of Isaac, and I'm like, God, this looks so good. I really, I wish I had the time to do a skin or something for the game, because this would look nice. And then when I had the opportunity to basically hand all art and programming work over to a team of people, I was like, well, you know what? I want to do a bunch of new content. I don't have the time to do it all myself with the projects I'm working on now. So why don't we just do this all retro style? It'll look really cool, and we can add a bunch of new content, and I don't actually have to do any work. And it seemed like a good way to go. And it took a while. Of course, I'm not showing the really off the mark, variations of different art that's been sent in. But for the most part, I think after the 2 months that they've been working on revising the art. At this point, it's just art at this point.
He's really... He's super, close with it, so he gets sent the art, and then he's like, this looks really good.
Yeah, I get art updates every, 3 days.
And also,
pages of sprites.
From basically. The beginning, I know he's told people, you need to have your own, vision on this, and have your own creative control over this, because this looks too much just you copied me, put your own spin on it. And some of the people are really good.
Yeah. They're very, very qualified pixel artists, and I'm not even really...
There's one guy that's just terrible.
He's good at something, though, I'm sure. But
he's probably really nice.
Yeah.
So, with those... With those being sent to you every couple of days, is there any way that you could possibly share your email address and password with us?
Just ask that guy that hacked the...
Yeah, just find the guy that hacked me, and he'll give you all my information.
I stole your Twitter name, too. Take that, Edmund M.
Send him a phishing link to porn. It never fails.
Never fails.
My boobs, Edmund M.
My boots.
My boots. Click the link. Also here, download this virus.
I also took Tom Fault gave Tommy diabetes, so that's good.
That's very
or
true.
That's at Tom Fault gave Tommy diabetes. Another fan question, if you're ready for it.
I'm ready.
Okay, from Brandon Manier, who is a drummer of a great band called Jimmy Tickles. What does he think, which would be you, is the best programming language to start off with? For a beginning programmer, Basic, Flash, or C++?
Okay, can I answer this?
Yeah.
I just fell asleep.
I'm not a programmer! I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know. Ask Tommy. He knows. He's really good.
Dreamweaver?
Dreamweaver. Oh, yeah, it's pretty funny. Tommy and Tommy were working on this game, Eugenics. And he came over last week, and we actually had a little, one-on-one... Jerk-off. And we're going over some of the scripting stuff involved with the dialogue in the game. And the closest thing to programming that I know is HTML. And I had to, show him, can you do it this way? And I actually did the whole brackets closing, opening and closing things to do different emotions and that sort of stuff, too. And he's like, yeah, but we'll do it in a better way. But, no, I don't know jack shit. I don't know anything about programming. I'm not a programmer.
Sir, Tommy has a form spring, and there's a whole... and he also wrote...
he gets that question asked daily.
Yeah. And
so ask him, and I'm sure he'll love it.
But he wrote it... ask him, and he'll delete it. And he wrote what do you call it, an article?
Yeah, he wrote a full-on article about this.
That you can find on Gamma Sutra, so just, Google that and read it.
He gets so many basic questions that he did write the article. And it's actually on supermeatboy.com, but it's a bit buried by Eugenics posts, but you can still find it.
And he even made art for it, and it's so good.
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
I actually have that bookmarked, so we'll just place it in the show notes.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I just totally did that to you guys. And his second part, how do you feel about developing for mobile and portable platforms, i.e. the iPhone, iPad, Vita, 3DS?
How do I feel? Well, Rebirth is being developed for the Vita.
Yeah.
I personally, if I was the one investing the money in this, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well,
but
that's understandable.
They are doing it because they like to...
So, I take it you own a Vita?
I did. There's nothing to play. There's nothing to play, so...
You have one now.
I don't even know what that thing looks like.
It looks like a PSP.
Yeah.
Does it look like a...
PSP.
With a terrible back touch functionality.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It does.
Except for it might be a controller for the PlayStation 4, which we'll figure out in 2 more days, so...
Oh yeah, that
works.
But yeah, I'm interested in the 3DS because I like their shop and I like the direction that they're heading with everything being digital. That's really cool. The mobile platforms I think are the most ideal platforms to develop for. Sadly, everybody's making garbage for them, garbage baby crap games.
Oh yeah.
It sucks that no one's actually trying to make good games. Well, actually, I know of people who are. The Witness is going to be out for it, so.
Well, if a good game comes out for it, then 100 people make a variation of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just where's the lawsuits at? I don't know.
That's how we'll know if Eugenics is good, is if we get ripped off a million times by larger companies.
But then, you know what? If you're making something good, you never have to worry about that because people. It's just like the money thing. People just get it wrong. Nope, you totally missed the mark.
It's somewhat true.
But it's Angry Birds and Crush the Castle, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's been done the other... Yeah, there's been so many fucking weird rip-offs, but... Yeah, usually the idea, if it's so vague that it can be ripped off easily, then it's probably not the greatest idea in the world, but... that's why I just put poop and dicks and weird shit in my game so we can actually rip it off.
Copy that, suckers.
Try to copy that one, dickhole. Yeah, naked kid crying. Deal with it. Do that, EA. Rip that off.
Okay, I don't really understand, but it seems like what the kids like is shit dick.
Shit dick. They missed the mark for EA. It's okay, well, I've looked at the graphs, and the statistics point directly towards naked children.
18 to 35, they're rubbing shit on their kids.
Children crying on shit. That seems to be the new thing.
That's in all the EA games from now on.
Can we get an Angry Bird that shits out of his dick?
Shit dick. There's got to be poop somewhere in here. Where can we put the poop? And
Kids like the poop.
Dick! Put it on the
You
dick!
You should remake Bastion. You should totally remake Bastion, and instead of a sword or anything, he flops his dick around, and instead of shooting, he flings shit. And you can narrate it, and you can just be like, he whipped out his floppy cock. Shat
I have
everywhere.
to have a yanking pussy because otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be in there too.
See in there.
I would like everybody to know that this is what our conversations are like while we're going to bed, till we laugh till our stomach hurts, and luckily we don't have downstairs neighbors anymore because I felt really bad for them.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Oops, dropped the money. Was there a question? I know.
iPhone, yay!
iPhone, yay! Oh yeah, that's a.
No, I'm pretty sure you answered it.
I think iPhone is worth developing for. I really wish people would make more games like developed actually for it.
Like Shit Dick HD.
Shit Dick HD, because that's the whole thing. Like originally, we were working on Super Meat Boy the game, and it was like actually specifically designed for the platform, and then we pushed into Mugenics, which was half specifically designed. Actually, it was designed for the platform, but then we realized, this is just as good with, a mouse. So you don't need,
That makes me extremely happy to hear. My God.
So it works perfectly both ways, and but yeah, I think I'm very interested, and I can't help but like see my nephews, my niece obsessively playing this new device, and like I can't stop but realize that this is the Nintendo of their generation. Like the fucking iPhone. How horrible is that?
They are over the holidays. That's all we saw.
Like that is very real. Like that is the new Nintendo. That's the NES for these kids. And I would really like to be able to make something, good for that platform for people to play. Or at least kind of good.
Well, and then for women too, like my sister's always on them.
It's true. Yeah, it's definitely a universal system. Everybody owns it, and it's cool. It's cool. It just sucks that so many games are just lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
Shit dick.
Shit dick. Coming to Apple Store near you.
I'm expecting Shit Dick HD.
Yeah.
Super Shit Dick 64.
Was it in Flash?
What?
Super Shit.
It was originally in Flash. They ported it.
SSD.
Yeah.
Edmund announces Shit Dick HD coming to a platform near you.
I think we got a scoop.
Yep, we got a scoop. Inside story.
The scoop one?
That's gonna get on Kotaku.
Yep, it's going up.
Yes.
Any question? You got any more reader questions, Eric?
About 3.5 million different questions.
Draw one out of the hat.
Reader questions. From Brad, what is it like dying in one of your own games?
It's another day. Another day, another dollar.
Oh,
I believe this would be
playing it and dying?
The Binding of Isaac.
Is it like this weird deep question?
Was
it like a mind games? I die in my own mind games that I play with myself.
I believe that feminazi had the poo as her extra item, and she ended up killing you, and on your blood spot, she put that there and said, "Take that, you sexist pig."
Yeah. What's it like dying in... It's like, is that I don't even have a real response to that. Okay, here, I'll respond. It's forgettable. I have to do it a lot in order to finish the game. Mm-hmm. When I develop video games and the games are hard, I'm actually constantly dying because I have to restart and repeatedly, and it's effortless. I don't even think about it. There. I answered that question in the most boring way possible.
Good one.
Yeah. I'm sure the guy was like, "Oh my god, that's the exact answer that now I can sleep.
I won't kill myself.
I have a reason to live." I'm sure that probably he wanted probably some sort of funny thing, so shit dick.
Shit dick, yeah, of course.
Next.
Question from Sarah for Danielle. What sorts of goodies will we see pertaining to Mugenics?
You're gonna see figures, more beautiful figures from my mother. Probably plush, unless I kill myself. Maybe I would like a poster.
Yeah, I could do that.
The huge.
I've been amassing like a large quantity. Not many people know this, but we do some really limited run stuff. There's sometimes stuff that'll go up over like a 2-day weekend that'll be gone and barely anybody will even notice it. And one of those really limited ones that we did, like really scarce, there was only 100 and something made. There were these Binding of Isaac development zines, which actually had like a hand-screened cover that I signed, numbered. It was really intricate, and each of them had a sketch of an item that's in the game. So everybody got one specific item, and then the actual zine was just like 36 pages of like all the development pages and sketches and like whatever else. And if you got the retail edition, you kind of just got the bare bones version of the innards. And we did those. And right now I have a lot of paper around from Eugenics, and I'll probably do that again because it's pretty fun to kind of put that together as like a little handmade zine, and then we'll post it up there, and that'll probably be something that'll eventually happen.
I would really like to make, I'm pushing Ed to make like an activity book, but kind of like the Super Meat Boy Packs comic, kind of. That would be neat, because all of the... I don't know what I feel like if I say something, I'm just going to fuck up and say something I'm not supposed
you
to.
probably shouldn't. But, yeah, no, it's, I'll probably... We'll see. I mean, most of...
Well, I'd like to do shirts, because my mom...
definitely shirts.
But my mom airbrushes, and she could make some, like, really gay-looking rainbow... is what I see in my mind.
There's no rainbows.
Tink.
You can't see the colors.
Tink.
Yeah.
Isn't that the flag of California anyways?
I can see the colors.
I can see the colors. I definitely want to do a cat fight black. So, in the game, Butch, who's the I guess bad guy. He's not. I mean, everybody's bad in some way. The heel. The cat fight guy. He wears a black T-shirt that just has a bloody cat paw print on it, and I want to make those shirts.
Yeah, I'm really interested in black T-shirts because that's all he wears. But some people like a little color.
Yeah.
Well, since we just talked about eugenics for a second.
What? What?
Oh, man. You talked about eugenics for a second, and some of the screenshots of some of the characters. I saw the scientist from Spewer. Yes, shocking, this question comes from me. Are all of your games taking place in the same universe?
If the universe is my head, yes. I am the universe.
Wait, does he look exactly like that guy?
No, he's a cross between him and Tommy.
Yeah.
He's supposed to look like Tommy and the doctor had a baby.
I want Tommy to get a really fancy toupee that he just puts on the sides of his head.
No, yeah, there are two characters like what did we end up doing? I think it was Tommy and I are gonna man the voices. So we're gonna do something a little unique. Well, not super unique, but just ripping off Timefuck. It's kind of like Timefuck when it comes to the dialogue of the characters when they speak. And me and Tommy are going to be voicing certain characters, and Tommy is the Doctor and Tink, and I'm going to be Frank and Butch. So I believe that I embody those characters, and Tommy embodies Tommy's a gay scientist, and I'm a evil bum.
And I'm Tracy if she has big tits.
Yeah, Tracy.
That sounds good.
I don't know what to say to that.
Wait, I have to go off. What is this? What is your picture on Skype?
The Duke Nukem for Everyone?
Yeah, but what is face?
It's me with a cutout of Duke Nukem, but my face is on the girl's body.
Because I look at it and it's pixelated, and I feel like it's me. Because it looks like my face to me, and I see like my hair.
Yeah, that's...
We look a lot alike, except for I have a beard.
Oh, is there like a blonde beard going on?
I sometimes.
Is it
Other
blonde?
times it turns red.
Is it... Yeah, in the sun I have a beard and a mustache.
That's weird.
It's weird.
Okay, next question.
Okay, this is another one of my fanboy questions. I've noticed a few things about The Binding of Isaac that reminded me of Batman. The chemical peel makes Isaac have a two-face look, while the vampire bat sort of looks like the Batman symbol. Are you a Batman fan?
Or are you Batman?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not a Batman fan, and none of those are actually references. The coolest thing about making a game that has a bunch of random references is like everybody assumes that these different things are different things. It's like the most common thing. It is entertaining to be like, "Hey, is that a reference to Full Metal Alchemist?" And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I have no fucking clue. But no, I'm not a big Batman fan.
Yeah, damn it.
The chemical peel. I mean, it was just
Although, didn't you just put together a Batman Lego?
Did I? Oh yeah, the Arkham Asylum. Yeah, but that's because I'm a Lego fan and not a Batman fan.
You're breaking my heart and my balls.
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of upset. You need to go read Batman Court of Owls. I'm sure you'll be a fan after that.
I'm weird when it comes to the comic superheroes. Like, I only like the really off ones, like Lobo and the Max and Trencher and
it's Batman's ruined for me after the shooting in the theater. I just can't even.
Anything associated.
I can't.
Weirds Danielle out.
I'm surprised I can even deal with the Lego because it's broken for me.
She just walked
some people were turned off by the "Where's Rachel?" But apparently that did it for you.
I don't know what that means.
It's from one of the movies. He's just like, "Where's Rachel? Don't swear to God, swear to me."
Is it from the last one?
No, I think it was the second one.
It wasn't the... I don't think we saw that one either. We saw the new ones. We saw the first one.
With Christian Bale? What's his name?
Yeah.
Bale?
We saw the first one. We didn't see the second one or the third one.
I don't want to die, so I'm not going to watch any of those.
If you watch it, it's like The Ring.
Yeah.
A crazy person will come out and shoot you.
And that is not happening.
No.
Oh, shit.
Don't go to the movie theater.
Don't leave.
You'll kill yourself.
Don't leave your house.
Yeah. Have you seen the news?
People are dying.
I just saw a country singer killed herself.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, she killed herself. I saw it on the news.
I saw Garbage Man took a puppy out of the trash.
Yeah, heard blood-curdling screams of puppy in trash.
Jesus.
The world is an awful place. I read it on the internet. Next question.
Yes. Danielle, what type of... or have you had any schooling in crafting? I already know this answer. If not, how did you get so good at it? If so, or if you weren't married to Ed, would you be making such hideous creatures? Sorry, I'm trying to edit this as I read.
Would I be making what?
Hideous creatures.
Oh, okay. No school in crafting.
No school at all.
No school.
No school.
I flunked to the 8th grade, and that's about as far as I got. So, no classes, no school. Let's see. I had a friend show me how to use my sewing machine. I didn't know that did I get good at it?
Looks like it to me.
Yeah.
Somebody think I'm good at it?
You got at it. That's for damn sure.
You just gotta keep doing it.
You gotta push hard.
What the fuck are you talking about? I actually feel like a huge loser and like I suck because I've been making the same simple thing for like 2+ years, starting with Meat Boy and then Isaac toys, that I have not progressed in like construction of things that I sew. So pretty down on myself about that.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Which is why there's no plush in the shop, so because I want to get
That's
better.
a good pointer.
Was there supposed to be a pointer?
That's a good one. It's a motivating pointer you gave. How'd you get so good? How'd you get so good? I hate myself.
That is how you get good. That is how you get good. You never think that you are good. You always always question yourself.
Phil Fish is the best game developer.
Yeah.
Never be comfortable. Never think you've made something good. The minute you make something, hate it.
Yeah.
Hate the way. If I was with Ed, I probably wouldn't be. I probably wouldn't be doing anything that I do now because we met when I was 15 and he formed me into his ideal partner.
That's what you do when you're a misogynist.
Yeah. Get him young.
You rope him in.
Yeah. Slavery, man. Slavery.
Molest them, yeah.
Yeah. You molest them, and then it's like that Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
And then they just become like a little sweatshop for you.
There you go.
Yeah. Downstairs.
Oh.
It's like a sweatshop in there. Asian kids everywhere.
Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I will accept that as an answer.
Unlike Ed, in where like when we go to the fabric store and people go, "What are you making?" And I just go, "Nothing." Like I do not want to talk about it. What do you do? Toys. Because then, ultimately somebody's like, "That's cute." Like, no, it's not. I'm gonna go flip my wrist in the tub.
I ask you some more questions.
Yeah.
Since we know the backstory of Super Meat Boy, as to who the characters are supposed to portray, who's Dr. Fetus supposed to be, and what is he supposed to represent?
Ed's penis.
He's got a baby dick?
He's the bad guy.
He's
I've read a theory that he was an unwanted pregnancy.
Oh. That's actually kind of what I thought.
That could be something.
Oh my god, this just blew my mind.
I read it on the internet.
Holy shit. Yeah.
The answer is exactly.
We've had one of those, so there you go.
There you go.
And it's in a jar.
Yeah.
Right here.
No.
And Ed just throws it at me. Look at your mistake.
Come here, Harpy.
Okay, go on. Go on.
I officially have one last question on my part.
Okay.
If you were approached by Valve to join them, would you?
What would it entail? Do I have to go to work? Up there and then go to work?
You know all about like Valve's practices, right? Where they like send you guys on vacations and all sorts. Well, send them on vacations.
Vacations are nightmares for me.
Yeah, we don't believe.
Yeah.
That is true. I should have actually.
Would it entail like if Valve? Okay, this is how. Okay, if Valve was like, nah, probably not. I don't know. It'd be interesting to at least talk to them. But if Valve was like, hey, we want to pay you $1 million a year to make games for us, and you get to use a team of 10 people to do whatever you want with, then I'd say yes. But I would say, but I don't want to go on trips, and I don't want to move anywhere in Seattle. I don't want to move up there. I'm going to stay here from my house. You pay me to make other people work, and I'll make really cool games, and you can put them on there.
And then for it to be okay for Ed to sign that, I would need another cap.
Alright, so if Valve is listening,
$1 million a year.
$1 million a year.
What if they told you you'd be working on Half-Life 3?
I wouldn't. What? So I could put shit dick all over it?
Oh, come on! No, not shit
But I could bring
dicks.
to the table in that situation that would be anything worthwhile. So a bunch of kids could get upset that I'd put shit dick all over some character that they love.
I think it'd make the game better. I don't know.
Does their insurance
Hey.
cover abortions?
Yeah. What?
I would think that you could possibly make an anti-gravity dick or an anti-gravity dick gun,
Like dick physics.
and when you shoot it back, it shoots out shit.
Dick. Yeah.
I love your shit dick game, so I mean, it would really fit in there. At least you'd have one fan, apparently.
Yeah. There you go.
Dude, I'm
And
surprised anybody thinks anything I make is good. I make garbage that only I like, and everybody else is just dumb. I don't know why they get involved in this at
I've
all.
got more for this game. All of the bad guys are tumorous tits.
Tumor tits.
And you shit your dick on them.
What was the name of that band that you were gonna make? Chicken Pussy.
Chicken Pussy.
There you go.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Sounds like sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good name.
You had me interested.
Yeah.
Chicken Pussy.
I opened for goat whore. I'm so tired. My face is all burny.
We got
at least 2 more hours before we need to go to bed.
Yeah. We got one more question for you guys, and it does come with a reader, and I think it's a pretty good question. It's kind of a long one. I'll read it slow. This is from Ray Stevens.
Thank you.
He asks, Ed, when you have a project on the go, it seems like you work with a very high level of dedication and, in turn, a very high level of self-expectation. During the development of Super Meat Boy, and by extension the making of Indie Game the Movie, it seemed like your work ethos put a lot of strain on you both as people and in your relationship. What sort of things have you done to try and counteract the level of time this sort of career path demands?
The reality of my career is that I only have room for it and a few hours of Danielle. And that's like it. And it's not an ideal thing for most people. Like in a lot of other situations, I think it's hard for people to juggle a relationship, period. And it's one of those things where, like, I love what I do, like, very, very much, and it's the only thing that really makes me feel fulfilled, and keeps me from, pulling a Phil fish. but like, in a lot of ways, it's this haunting, horrible thing where, like, I can't stop doing this, because if I do, I'll become a completely miserable human being and just be horrible. It's like a shark, and I just have to keep swimming or I'm going to die. And it's not always a blessing, I guess. And it's hard to juggle reality. Like, I have these pockets of, like, lucidity where I'm like, am I just throwing my life away into video games? What am I doing? Like garbage that, people play for a few minutes and throw away? Or 100 hours or whatever. What am I doing, and why am I doing it? And why the fuck am I doing this? And should I be doing something better than this? Or should I be putting my efforts elsewhere? But the reality is, this is what I like the most and what I seem to do the best. And
this is what we've been on a path for 13 years of making our life exactly how it is now.
Yeah. Almost to a fault. Almost too comfortable. You get to the point where we've comforted ourselves into a corner of a room and a giant house. And
okay, yeah, Tommy laughs when he comes over because we have a 2-story house now that I have my own studio upstairs, my own room with all of my stuff in it. I am never in there. I do not go in there. I sit right next to Ed. Right now, I'm practically in your chair.
Yeah.
We don't give each other a lot of space.
No, all we've done is recreated the same thing that you guys saw in the movie. It's that same room, like.
And before that, we actually lived in one room.
Yeah, and it's just like the comfort zone or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it gets to the point where we become so isolated that when we go to the flea market and have one conversation with somebody, we're like, fuck, Jesus Christ, people are awful people.
Yeah.
Now I understand why people go crazy and kill everybody in the Batman theater. Makes no sense to me. Yeah, it's dangerous to isolate yourself so much and only get the internet feed. Because you're like, holy Jesus, the world is way worse than I expected.
Yeah.
Wait, but as far as, like, making our relationship work, it's all been through the years. Like, during Gish, that was very hard. We, like, did not see each other at all. I was working constantly and trying to pay for everything. And
yeah,
then
Danielle was supporting us through Gish. Like, the first big project that I was on for 6 months out of that year, I was going into debt, and she had to work to pay the bills, and I was gone all day and all night. We just crossed paths as I came home, and we'd have the weekends together, and that was basically it. And it's been a kind of back and forth. You take a little too much, and then you make up for it.
Well, luckily through Super Meat Boy, I worked at home, so that was like amazing. Because otherwise, I don't know what would happen.
It was baby steps. Hard. I mean, it's been 10+ years of like baby steps.
Yeah, I would say we're on 13 years. I would say at the, we always had fun and stuff, of course, but at the 10th year has our relationship like smoothed out to where it's just like we're pretty much having a blast all the time. Except for like maybe like a bad PMS every 3 months where I'm horrible, like really evil.
Sometimes I got shit dick.
Oh.
I try to make up for it and I say, you can have some shit dick. And get it all over there.
I got a bad case of shit.
Can that be an item in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth?
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing I was going to touch on before, where I was like, sometimes fans just miss the mark. When I asked for suggestions, some people literally said stuff like that, and I'm like, really? Is that where you think I'm going? I realize I've spent this, past hour saying shit dick repeatedly, but the Binding of Isaac doesn't go that far at all.
Yeah.
No shit dick in Binding of Isaac.
Well, you have almost all of your characters in the Binding of Isaac somewhere. You should have the characters from Cunt in there.
There's a poster in the arcade, a Cunt poster.
Oh, I know. I saw the poster. I'm talking about as like one of the enemies.
No one picks up on the fact that there's a giant vagina monster on the wall in the arcade room. And hopefully,
I've noticed them all.
Is listening, because I think they're going to do a pixelated version of that. I don't know. It's so weird. It's extra weird. So, as you probably know, like going into Binding of Isaac, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to get this rated. I'm not going to even try to bother selling this. No one's going to buy it either way. I'm just going to do what I think is either funny, weird, or interesting, and have fun with it and enjoy it. And it was very enjoyable to make. And in the end, now looking back, where I've got Tyrone asking me, like, so what kind of, what would you say is the most risque thing in the game? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe Isaac's mom trying to kill him, like that's probably the most. And then I'm like suddenly realizing everything about this game is insane. And like you have to write it down on a piece of paper for ESRB to like rate it, and it's like, well,
or when your nephew is explaining something that's happening.
Yeah, he's naked.
Why does his mom want to kill him?
He's naked, and sometimes we get a power up. He pisses on things, and he pisses on shit and finds money, and it just gets so awful and so weird, and I just realized that how in the fuck is this game going to get a rating? Like we're not even remotely to that point, and for the most part they don't seem to care. But because if you get an M, what does it matter? It doesn't really matter. But like how is this game not an M? It's totally an M, but like I just doesn't feel like an M to me.
Yeah.
And it's because it doesn't have that aesthetic look to it, where it feels like an M. Really,
I was really worried that Super Meat Boy would get an M, and there was certain scenes that I was like, ugh, how can I write this? Because when you fill out an ESRB form, you've got to describe the most graphic depictions of X, Y, Z, and it's like, depictions of violence, depictions of gore, depictions of drug use, and so on. And I get to the point where it's like instances of gore and violence, and I'm like, well, Jesus, there's like a lot, and I don't know what. And then I get to the point where it's like, how do I describe a fetus being stomped to death? Like, how do I describe that in a way that I can get a T? Like, what do I have to do here? And I remember even wording it like, Bandage Girl hops on Dr. Fetus, and he bursts into a poof of red dots. And then, of course, you have to submit the video. And I remember going, oh my god, this is going to be the thing that, like, gets us an M. Like, and it wasn't a game that I wanted to be an M, because I just didn't feel like it should be. Like, I feel like, it should be teen. And it came back with, like, we've got one questionable thing that we really want to see more footage of. and we need to see it as soon as possible. And I'm like, oh, great, I know what it is. And I'm like, okay, what? And they're like, when Brownie farts, we need the audio. And so we sent him the video, but there was no audio for it. And because it says in the description, Brownie is born, comes out of the press like Terminator 2, and then there's an awkward high-pitched fart. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to see that because that was the most questionable when it came to crude humor. And it's like, really? You stomped a fetus to death? Like, I thought that would be it.
No, but the fart, that's what puts it over.
I am so... Every time I fart, I'm so offended.
My God.
And I'm just like, what? How did that come out of me? I'm a good person.
Yeah, you apologize to everybody around you. I am not a bad person. I am not like this.
I know how that sounded, and I know how it smells,
and
I am a good person.
I know it came out of me, but that does not represent me and my views.
That fart was rated M for mature. It's not for your age.
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go down with Isaac at all. And there seems to be that much discussion because, like, I know with Nintendo they had a problem with the religious aspect, but more importantly, the religious aspect of the mom trying to murder her son. That seemed to be the
Why
big.
did you choose the mom, anyways? That was really weird to me.
Oh, I chose the mom because I felt like the father is done out. It's just like played out.
Yeah.
It also came. It was also I was making it around the Lacey Peterson time.
Not during that time, but I was reading.
No, it was right when the trial ended. Like right when the thing ended. Yeah, it is. That's when I started it.
No way, that has been done.
It's been out for a while.
No, I don't think so.
It was fresh in my mind. That's all I know. And like, you hear tons of stories of mothers killing their kids. Like,
Well, usually the crazy religious ones.
Yeah, well, I mostly was reading the terrible true crime stories.
Yeah, Danielle, it was like a
and a lot of it were
it was the perfect storm of crazy
parents.
dark inspiration at that time. Like I have like this collection of like Christian propaganda, like tracks and stuff like that. And at that time, I was also downloading tons of Christian propaganda videos. Like I really love it's always the 80s because that's when that was the biggest. But like these 80s VHS tapes you can get at flea markets that say like Beavis and Butthead and MTV in general is sending your kids to hell. Here we dissect the music videos and explain why, and it's just fucking amazingly hilarious. And then it goes even deeper, and it's like, so and so exposes the cults, the satanic cults that are existing now, and how children are sacrificed and raped and so on and so forth. And then there's like interviews with these people who swear that they were in these cults and that this one lady was thrown into a well full of dead babies. And that's where Gertie actually originally came from, because she was supposed to be made of dead babies, but I eventually turned it into just guts because it looked cool. But
they're all schizophrenic.
Yeah, they're all crazy people because the government actually did research on this. And
My favorite was this lady said,
"Oh God, yeah,"
that there were animal sacrifices, and she had to get this dog's dick hard and then cut it.
Yeah.
So that's our motto now: is get it hard, cut it off.
There were some great ones. There were some great interviews. But
like, why do you have to get the dog's dick hard first?
Wow.
Since there's a lot of shit eating as well, and like, what does that have to do with
There's
Satan?
a lot of shit eating.
A lot of shit eating. Like, it was a reoccurring in every single interview. It's like, well, yeah, we sacrifice some babies, we rape some kids, we cut off a dog's dick. Oh yeah, and then we ate our shit. Evil. Satan loves it.
We had to listen to our own part.
Yeah. Worst of all.
That was the worst. But yeah, so I'm watching all that stuff, and then Danielle gets on this kick of reading these weird captive stories of these kids in basements.
But what did it started with reading memoirs of what are they? The Mormons. The Mormons that have a lot of wives.
Mormons.
Yeah, Mormons.
Old
it's
Mormons.
called something. What is it called?
Hormons.
I can't remember what it's called.
Mormons.
No.
Old Mormons.
You know, like the sister wives.
Mormons.
Yeah.
Mormons. I mean, they're Mormon, but it's a different sect of Mormianity.
They're the religious people.
Old school Mormons. The old school ones that have a lot of wives.
Polygamist.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it went from that to like them escaping that situation, and then I'm on like Kindle, so it goes, hey, read this. A father keeps his daughter under their house for 30 years and gives her.
And she has a whole family under there.
But from him.
So yeah, that's the whole like kid in the basement, living in the basement thing, and I get all these just like everything just like seeps in, and it just all just goes through the filter and then comes out into some Zelda. It's like it was filtered through my brain and then Zelda, and then it became Binding of Isaac.
There you go.
That was essentially it. That and like just being around little kids and like Eli and Dusty, my nephews, and that, and then religion, just religion in general. It started, of course, as like kind of I'm angry at religion. It sucks, and then it became more of like the same thing, but then also it's pretty interesting. It's pretty,
and also I can do whatever I want. So what will I do?
Yeah. What can I do to almost cross the line of getting us murdered? Danielle was worried that Christians were going to kill us.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be shocking if they tried.
What if somebody gets really mad? But I mean, because we had one situation a long time ago where Ed had what was the story that was it was some like zine that he had in Borders, like a local artist section, and somebody like took his little thing and threw it.
Yeah, like they grabbed all my like zines and went up to the front and like threw it at the person behind the counter and started flipping out, and they had to be thrown out of the store, saying that it was wolf and
so that was enough for me.
Jesus. Yeah, no.
Shit
Type of people are so dumb they don't understand how computers work.
Yeah, they don't have connections.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's a godhatesfags.com, so apparently they know how to work some things.
They paid somebody to do that.
Okay, good point.
They got one boy. He's going to school for computers.
He took HTML.
That's good.
Bracket fag.
You
Close.
got a yahoo.com email.
For gay porn.
How else are you supposed to get up your ire?
Yeah.
I'm
so mad at the dicks that turn me on.
I hate queers, and I hate that they make my dick so hard. The one thing I hate about them,
Buttocks.
they ruin my pants.
I think you broke me on that one.
Yep.
It's nice to hear somebody say the same things. I came from the somewhat religious background. I had wanted to be a reverend at one point in time. After my 6th read-through of the Bible, I turned against it. So, the Binding of Isaac, I understand the whole thing, basically, except for the things that you've added to it, but I think that's part of what keeps me interested in it. I'm, like, this is embarrassing, but I think I've put about 300 hours personally into it now.
Yeah, I have.
I was going to say it's kind of embarrassing considering there's a lot of games that we have to play around here. We have to do reviews. We have to speak about them. And it's like, I can't play that right now because I'm playing The Binding of Isaac. Just wait 1 second. Yes, I'm going to go plant this poop over here and hide behind it so the enemy can't shoot me here.
Well, I promise that that Rebirth will be worth playing. Even after the 300 hours. Like, that's my goal is fanfare. My goal is like, not only am I going to be able to have the ability to do this in an engine that was meant to run it, but also go the extra mile and add a bunch of features that I wish that I would could have put in but couldn't because of Flash, but also go the extra mile and be like, all right, I'll add another Wrath of the Lamb expansion over the top, and it's I'm an active listener to the fans. I understand what they want and why they want it, and if it makes sense, it's going to get in.
That's awesome.
So
I actually forgot to ask you, with The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, you had mentioned something about, for those who already have The Binding of Isaac, it would add more and would possibly come at a discount if you can make it happen, I believe is what you said?
it won't be able to move your save data over or anything. It's
of course.
Compatible. But if you do own it, we talked it over with Steam. We actually did this before. They can do loyalty discounts. So if you own other things in the library, that you can get a discount. And I talked it over with Tyrone, and I'm like, I really want to make sure that the fans, if they pre-order the game, I want them to get a discount if they own it, and they're fine with it. So we'll definitely be doing a pre-order discount. Maybe another, I don't know, limited for release to a certain degree or something.
That's really awesome.
I don't want to upset everybody by being, I have to pay money again when I paid $5 for this game I played for 300 hours. I'm angry about it because I know that's going to happen. But yeah, damn me for doing that. But it's kind of odd sometimes. I remember thinking I want people to play this game, and I don't think they're going to play it, so I'll make it $5. And then the game comes out and it does really well, and then I have people complaining about the remake better be fucking cheap because it's free. Because it's and it's God. I don't know if putting it up for $5 was a bad idea, because the bar has been, I guess, lowered forcefully to that $5.
Yeah,
increment.
you really fucked everyone else.
Yeah, and it's I screwed the pooch there. I screwed it up for everybody.
That is possibly the best $5 that anybody could spend, which is completely ridiculous to me that a game that has that much content is $5.
Yeah.
And for the basement collection.
But you never would have known that you would have spent that much time in it. There were days that we came home from the post office, and I would start playing, and I'd just be okay, one more game. As soon as I die, I'll stop. And then I look up, and it's midnight. What happened? This is where the self-loathing comes in.
That was the basement collection's what, $2.50, $3 somewhere there?
I think it's $4.
But then there's a
$4.
loyalty discount with that, isn't
there?
there?
Yeah, there was a loyalty discount. That would make it $2.
Well, it's $4 for a shit ton of content. Sure, in there it's not physical, you can't hold it in your hand, but there's so much shit, including stuff that's not even in Indie Game the Movie. And that's what really blew my mind is the fact that you guys have basically your own mini podcasts in there where Danielle just questions you about certain things.
That was another email I got because they're trying to do ESRB for the box set, and they're like, do you say anything that would be age inappropriate? And I'm like, yeah. I'm pretty sure we say horrible, horrible things.
I forgot. Yeah, when he was making that, it was it's going to be first it was going to be $2.99, then it was going to be $3.99, so he's like, I gotta put more stuff in this to justify $3.99. And oh my god, he just packed it so full of stuff to the point where I'm thinking $3.99.
Well, it was so specific. The only people who care about that shit is the fans. And there are not that many of those people, so
yeah, those people need to go pick it up.
I wanted. The reason why there's two reasons I made the collection. Number one reason I made the collection was because I hated the idea that people would see the movie and think that the only game that I made was Super Meat Boy. Because even to this day, people will come up and be like, "Hey, I saw you in that movie. How's Meat Boy doing?" And it's well, that was a long time ago.
That shit is old, bro.
I made another game. They're like, "You made another game?" Yeah, I made some games before. You made some games before. They were in the movie. You see them.
No.
What?
Oh, this is my favorite question. Did you ever get that hairless cat? I get it at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it says right at the end of the movie, she got her cat.
How did Meat Boy do? That's another one.
There is a picture of me holding the cat.
Yeah, that Super Meat Boy, that so well? I seen the movie, I don't know. Did it so well? How's it doing?
I learned, that's the thing I learned. I learned that people don't really watch movies. They must just have something else on, and then they're just not kind of paying attention
Yeah,
to
they
it.
fell asleep.
But okay,
That's the sad thing.
the two reasons. Number one is because I don't like the idea that people will see the movie and be like, "Oh, that was the first game that guy made," and
So my first thing that I make needs to be a big success.
yeah, like I wanted to kind of show the stepping stones, and I mean, I'm even like sugarcoating it because I don't put the garbage in there, even though some of it is, borderline garbage.
He didn't add his poem book.
I don't put like the crappy crap that led into and it filled the gaps in between these games, but for the most part, it's all there and kind of shows the progress and a lot of kind of it fills in that I don't like that illusion of you can just make a game and it'll do well and no real effort is put in before that and there's many years behind it. The other one is that I wanted to be able to give back to all the different programmers that I worked with over the years because I worked with so many, and I gave a substantial amount of money percentage-wise of the basement collection to everybody involved. I took the smallest amount. Everybody else took bigger chunks, but it made me really happy to be able to write these $15,000 checks to these people who I worked on a game that made each of us a couple $100 back in the day, and now we re-release it on Steam and in a bundle, and they actually get paid a good amount of money, and how happy they are about it, and it was really cool to be able to do that and kind of celebrate the amount of work that I put in and that we put in, I guess, and that's why I made it. It was fun.
To me, it's ridiculous that there's people out there that haven't played Ether. Like that's the one that really blew my mind. Was people were like, "Oh no, I don't want to play that. It looks cutesy," and that's definitely not one of his games. I was like, "There's a big meaning to it." I was suffering from a really bad depression at the time when I had played it most recently, and at the end of it, I felt great because it put everything into perspective. And I know that's really weird, thinking like, "Oh, you played one of Edmund McMillen's games and it made you feel like that." Bullshit. But it was really one of those things. And then after that, after I felt better, I whipped out my dick and I shat everywhere. So everything came back around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we lost them again.
Hmm.
No, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe the dick.
Are you there?
You cut off right
now we're here.
Where did it cut off?
You were talking about playing Ether,
And
then it cut off.
that people would think it was strange that you would feel that way after playing one of Ed's games.
Oh, yeah. It was just one of those things where people just can't believe that you would make a game that would make somebody feel really good about themselves afterwards, because it was something that could put things in perspective. It even happened with Spewer. I think Spewer to me was a game that after playing it, that's the game that really made me feel good about life in the end, just because that ending, it really did something for me, and I think that's why Spewer is probably my favorite.
The two games that have hopeful endings.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not
Time fuck makes me want to kill myself.
I couldn't even follow Time Fuck, so it's good.
It should.
I had to proofread messages from Steven, when it was getting close to my birthday, so I start feeling weird already. And
from the second part.
Yeah, and I was just this is making me feel so weird.
Yeah,
is that the voice that you used? Isn't that you in the dialogue? Aren't you Steven?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's me saying letters with the phonetic sounds.
Oh. Yeah. At points in times, I could hear it kind of sounded like what your voice had sounded like, and I was like,
Bart Simpson.
I was like, that's really creepy, and that can't possibly be it.
Yeah, no one knows that Steven's really a woman.
Oh.
The Ether and Spewer are the two hopeful games. I'd like to expand on Ether eventually. I don't know when. I'm definitely not in that mode. I don't know. I struggle with feeling like I should be saying more, or I don't know. I sometimes get heckled in anything, like Binding of Isaac, like there's no message, there's no meaning, there's no thought behind it. It's just poop jokes and crude humor, and
a large part of the internet would disagree though and have a lot to.
But like there's a part of me that's like, I used to get in arguments with I don't know if you'd say high profile indies who do very artsy fartsy things and have this circle of these high art type people, and that was something that was told to me, that I should really, if I want to be taken seriously, I should remove my humor from the games, because it takes away from the message or whatever I'm trying to come across,
he was also told to explain exactly how he wanted the person to feel.
Yeah, and tell people how they should feel, and so on and so forth.
Because this certain guy didn't get it.
Yeah, but it's something that is valid to a certain degree, where I can understand how people can get mixed messages from what I'm doing, and can write off Time Fuck or The Binding of Isaac because of some meme that they see, or poop, or whatever else, because it just seems like, oh, I thought there was something here, but oh no, poop joke or whatever else. But like, I can't get away from the fact that everything that I'm doing is a piece of who I am, and I'm not this serious, always serious person who is just, depressed and wants to dwell on it. Like, I need to lighten the mood in some way, or it just doesn't seem enjoyable. Like, I can't do something that's so incredibly dreary and serious to the point of just feeling like, oh, I'm going to kill myself now because this is super depressing. But but there's a part of me that, like, I get frustrated, because I get frustrated that's like, I feel like I'm saying something here, and I would like what I'm saying to be felt and heard to a certain degree. And I feel like it is felt and heard to that certain degree, but it still bothers me that other people don't see anything at times, if that makes sense.
There's a lot of soldier boys.
A lot of soldier boys. But I don't know. I think it might just be a skill level thing. I think I can get better at it in time, and maybe have a stronger message yet with my personality attached without sacrificing anything.
And it's really going to come through on Shit Dick.
We need Shit Dick plushies.
Yes.
I want to snuggle with a Shit Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mom's working on a figure right now.
Where can I pre-order?
My mom's like, is the shit all around this part of the dick?
No, the dick is made out of shit.
Are there balls? She gets really creative with the scrotum.
Yeah.
It's like the Duke of Lies.
Oh, that's...
It looks like...
we could get like a mohawk of shit on the scrotum.
Yeah.
Comes with
awesome.
a signed piece of Ed's shit.
Or his foreskin. With shit on it.
One of my dicks.
Great.
A real one.
Very limited. Before we go, I will say one thing, because maybe somebody's listening and they want, like, relationship advice, and that's what I have to add. So, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll just say, let's see. First of all, because I always feel bad, like, at the Q&As after Endgame the movie, like, I feel like people, like, just like with making Super Meat Boy, think that they will have a relationship, and it should be, like, exactly whatever they think me and Ed's relationship is, and that makes me feel bad. So, you have to work really hard at it, obviously. Unless you're happy with yourself, it doesn't matter who you're with, because you will be miserable if you're miserable with yourself, if you don't like yourself. Try to be self-aware. Try to find somebody else that's self-aware, and somebody that wants to grow and create something with you, and not, we could have grown apart in 13 years. We could have grown apart at some point, but we definitely grew together, and it was fun for us to do that. So that's what you have to do.
pretty sound advice. I mean, that's...
I feel like everybody knows that, but it's like, you think some stuff is common sense, but it gets lost.
She gets a lot of, like, people asking in relationship advice and or saying, like, I've got this exact same relationship that you guys have, except I'm miserable.
Except my girlfriend hates me. Like, no, dude, that's not...
It's just odd. People don't use common sense and logic in a lot of things. I guess because emotion is involved, and or just wanting to avoid.
Well, and like with everything
reality.
else, you want that end result, and it takes work. So
yeah,
people don't want to work for that end result.
Yeah, and like you're so supportive, and like, why can't I find like a girlfriend or a boyfriend that is so supportive? Well, are you supportive yourself? Because I only treat Ed the way that he treats me.
And are you too supportive? Are you a doormat who just lets everybody walk all over them? And you think that you're being supportive?
Do you have a giant vagina?
There are factors involved here.
You have to be just a nice open hand slap every once in a while, just the right amount of jerk to get my dick hard.
Yeah.
This is the best interview I've ever done. I'm amazing.
Oh, that's pretty good. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's good to talk about shit dicks.
Yeah, shit dick is...
Or shitting dicks.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be a version for women, for the empowered women.
Oh.
Shit cunt.
Oh, there you go.
Empowered woman in all of us.
You yank it.
I feel like a more powerful woman after that.
Yeah.
Eric, you're a very powerful woman, so it's a...
The game is wiping the correct direction.
That's the whole
God, is it front to back or back to front?
It is front to back. Otherwise, you're going to have one shitty...
But then the object of the game is the other to go the other direction.
Mm.
And then you get this crazy, diseased yanking.
How fast can you get over that sickness? That's the game.
Because yanking's a good thing.
But the first thing I saw was the disease thing. That stuck in my mind.
Yeah, that's a different one. Yanking is like, brings all the boys to the yard.
So the word rhymes with rank, and that's all I can think of.
Yeah, it's a ghetto term. It says it was originated in Oakland.
Oh, Oakland.
That'll explain it.
That's where Amber...
Yeah, Amber Lance comes from Oakland.
We should probably wrap this interview up.
But I do want to say, and I think I speak for both me and Eric, that I appreciate you two coming on, giving us this opportunity to sit down and talk to you guys. You guys are awesome. Really awesome people. And we both love what you guys do. Ed, you make some great games. Danielle, some of those things are fucking amazing. So
yeah,
I can't believe that people even know I exist. So thank you very much.
No, we do. We do. We're huge fans here. So appreciate it very much.
You guys are nice too. You guys aren't douchebags at all. So take that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're douchebags.
Yeah, we are, but you know.
Oh no, I have listened to some podcasts where I'm like, end this now.
we probably get a few like that. I'm sure. Right, Eric?
You know, I'm hoping that like afterwards we can just finally be like, put out an episode where like that motherfucker said Phil Fish didn't have any eyes behind that behind those glasses and he's only 4 foot tall. Fuck them.
You know the sad reality is
Wait, did we say that or did you guys say that?
It was on the Indie Game the Movie commentary, which is by far the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
The vestigial eyes.
Yeah.
Just pulls them off, or they come off with the glasses. But the funny thing about the Phil Fish jokes is that Phil's not short.
But when his little pieces are hanging
It's a
off
perspective.
the bed,
It's a perspective thing. It's because his head's so big that he looks like a toddler when he's walking around. So it's like he's shorter than Tommy, but he's not short. Like he's an average.
There's an amazing part that really makes you think that he really is short. There's a part where he's in the pool and he's sitting next to the 4 foot man, and Ed just goes, "See, 4 foot," and then just I lose it, and everybody that's listening to it's losing it. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It is honestly the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, doing that commentary, that was one of the things. Like when they started recording us, we said, we will do this only if you promise us that we get to do a commentary track and we get to do whatever we want and you're not around. And they're like, okay. So when that actually happened, we were like, you can't be in the house, just like go away, let us record this, we're going to do it one take.
They went into the guest bedroom, and I also had to go into our bedroom.
Yeah, just leave us alone and let us do this.
Which I thought I should have been involved because I am hilarious.
And we had a really good time doing that. And at this point, if you ask Tommy will say that the commentary track is better than the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate to say it, I actually kind of agree, just because I think that the commentary track is literally the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It was good. It was good to do it too because like Tommy has a love-hate relationship with the movie. He doesn't like how he comes off in the movie. He doesn't feel like he's that person at all. Like he was just that person at that time, and then it just ended at that point. And he doesn't like that he comes off as this arrogant guy who doesn't like Halo and whatever else. And
he wasn't wrong though.
Yeah, he would still say the same thing now, but it's just more of like a thing where like I think the way the movie's paced and how he's introduced, like he's introduced with that, and if you like Halo, you hate Tommy.
Well, and then nobody watching the movie comes out, Super Meat Boy is already successful. When that was filmed, it was up in the air, so...
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
He was an underdog when he was saying that.
Yeah, it's hard to explain how, like, the Tommy that was saying that stuff and the way he was saying that comes off arrogant then was kind of coming off jokefully arrogant and almost like faux, like this front.
Like puffing
up.
It
was, yeah, puffing up because we were huge losers. Like, we had nothing. Like, it was a joke. Like, but then after you see the movie and you see that we had some success, it's like it comes off like, oh, I think I'm better than Halo and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, Tommy does come off a little one-dimensional in the movie. I mean, I come off one-dimensional in the movie. I just happen to come off in the dimension that most people seem to like.
Fat
dimension. Some sort of fucking fat dimension. I don't like that at all. But,
round.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean,
I'm one-dimensional in the movie. I like cats.
Yeah, you're a girl and you like cats. But that's even we all had our little like, shit, I don't like how I came off in the movie moments.
I didn't. I love it. I really do. I have had no negative things from the movie.
Yeah, well, you lucked out. But like,
there was like one set of subtitles in that movie, and the subtitles just said "dancing" when Danielle was dancing, but they didn't catch it.
And the day, oh my god, that's how comfortable we were in front of them that I was wearing leggings, just leggings.
What's wrong with you?
And never makeup. What? That's how comfortable I was. There was a Canadian man kneeled on the floor with the camera, and I just didn't. Like, yeah, I've got leggings on. Look at my huge ass. I'm dancing.
He did kind of just fade away into the background.
Into the corners.
Yeah. But yeah, I was getting at something at some point. Movie commentary. Oh yeah, the reason why the commentary track was good is because I hope that when people listen to it, they can see that there's more dimension to Tommy and I. Like, we're not these miserable people. I'm not just this jolly, gentle giant, jolly rumpus. I don't know, whatever I am. I'm just Harry barrel of I'm a Harry barrel of giggles in the movie. And you know, Tommy claims that that's true. That's who I am, and I think Tommy's an arrogant prick.
Yep, man.
You made John Paul look like a really big badass.
Dick would say.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it was good that we did the commentary because I feel like it does add that little bit of dimension. And they actually are working on the special edition now, and I think they're like 100 minutes into it. It'll probably be like the extras in the special edition will probably be more than the movie length.
Can I say what they were most recently working on for the extras?
Sure, I think. What are they working on? What? Oh yeah, you can say that.
Oh, they're doing a piece where we're talking about how the internet's video came about, and so that Yeah,
Yeah.
They filmed us talking about that, and then I think they'll have part of it in there, the video in there.
Yeah, they asked for a copy of the video. But yeah, they actually did follow-ups with me and Tommy, like full follow-ups, and Danielle. And so that'll be in there. And then, of course, like the 15 other developers that they followed around, they've got shitloads of footage of them, so they'll probably cut together the substantial ones for that too. And I'm actually looking forward to that because I was always interested. Because when the whole thing started, it was supposed to be like 20 developers, and they would cut down to like 15 vignettes for a 2-hour-long documentary. That was just gonna, this is my game and this is who I am and the end. And it just so they had all that footage that they shot, but they ended up just going with a story arc kind of layout. So it'll be interesting to see because that's originally what was pitched to me is what they were going to do. So I want to see it.
But they decided to put the hot dude in it mostly.
Yeah, Phil Fish, that asshole.
I was kind of scared for my life at his parts in those movies. Thought he was going to come through my TV screen and kill me.
You would just hold his head with your palm.
He couldn't reach you.
Yeah.
So during your commentary, is it true that John Blow is a Jupiter belt?
Yeah, that guy is like, yeah, he's very skilled in martial arts for real. Like,
oh God, that's what I thought. I was like, he seems to be joking. But
yeah, well, Jupiter belt's not real.
I feel like
I was joking at that part, but no, John Blow is a very skilled martial arts guy. Like he, I've heard stories. It could be a great liar, but I doubt it. Where he's been in situations where he got carjacked and actually like fucked the guy up.
I could see him doing that, so that makes perfect sense actually.
No, he's hardcore. The guy's fucking hardcore.
I also imagine that he's very skilled in tantric sex.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, totally.
Because these silky shirts that he wears sometimes, and like that guy fucks for hours.
I can vouch for it. Yes, he took me from behind after fisting me.
We've heard about
and
this.
I spent 6 hours of crying and laughing and being happy. Many roundhouse kicks were given.
Yeah,
go watch Indie Game the movie.
The first time I met him many, many years ago when I started working on Braid with him in the early days, he was doing like these like hand movements, like kung fu movements as we were walking down the street, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on there? What are you doing? He's
he also used to wear like
cut off.
Yeah, like
he would wear like cut off jackets and stuff so you could see his muscles.
Oh man,
he would fuck you up.
I want to get John Blow on here now.
Yeah,
he's actually a really funny guy too. Like he
awesome.
he comes off super serious. I mean, he is super serious, but he's entertaining.
Yeah,
he's a fun
I have
guy.
said the most absolutely raunchy things to him, and it's always hilarious.
Yeah,
I'd be afraid to say some horrible shit and have him just stare at me, and like, all I can ever see is in the commentary where you keep on talking about how he's such a badass, and I think you're joking the whole time, and then you're like, that's how he sleeps, and it's just the picture of him sitting in the chair in the dark. And I'm just like, oh God, he's serious.
He does some shit like that. He's the kind of guy who's like, what are you doing this weekend? I don't know, I'm tying a rock to myself and wandering the desert for 3 days. Oh yeah, okay.
I'm not speaking for 70 years.
Yeah. Like
he is so awesome. He has such a good sense of humor, and he's like extremely genuine. He seems like he has no past, no future.
Yeah, he does. He seems like the guy from Kung Fu.
But he's totally just normal.
Yeah, he's a very normal guy. He's a very generous guy too.
He has like people in his family that we were talking about, like people that we have in our family, and he was talking about people that he had in his family.
He has people.
You have a family?
He has people in his family.
He has a mother. He wasn't an orphan raised on the streets.
Yeah,
he's Batman.
He's Shredder.
He's the Shredder.
No, not Shredder. Splinter.
I can see him more Shredder.
He's like the cross between Shredder and Splinter.
Yeah,
I'm fucking crying.
He's praying.
There he is.
I'm I've been laughing too damn much. I literally have leakage coming out of my eyes.
Yeah,
That
my
sounded weird.
face is like burning.
It's killing me.
Well, we can keep talking for hours, so we should probably let you go.
You guys are basically becoming murderers at this point in time.
Yep.
We got to do this. We got to stay for 2 more hours.
Yeah, thank you for helping us stay awake.
Yeah, that helped.
Oh,
Oh, you know.
I almost feel like I've gotten a second wind.
I feel insane. Let's go outside.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably have you guys back on when you make Spewer 2.
Oh, great.
but
Spewer 2.
Spewing.
Coming soon.
Winning.
yeah, but yeah, again, this was entertaining. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, average Joes.
No problem.
It was awesome. It was very
Is
awesome.
that Assassin's Creed?
My icon thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
The buggiest one, though. Like,
Look
the
at
buggiest,
me.
glitchiest one.
Look at me. I'm a gamer, girl.
I've never played that game.
Look at me
I've
knowing
watched
stuff.
somebody play it once. And that was the end of
Oh
it.
my god, I watched Florian play it for hours. He just kept jumping off a roof. It was so boring.
That was funny.
I think it's good. Eric thinks it's not so good, but
Well, that happens with
those
those
things
games.
where, and there's no doubt, like, if a shitload of people really love a game, it's probably pretty good.
But
Yeah,
literally,
like-
all I saw was jumping off the roof.
Well, yeah, that's what it usually seems to be.
that's the basic premise of it, you know.
There's no doubt in my mind that it's probably pretty good. But it's one of those games, much like any of the games that look like that, like any of like the 3D story-driven games, where it's like all I see is the amount of time that I need to put in to really enjoy it, and I'm like,
Ed couldn't even get through Skyrim.
I couldn't.
It's one of those games that has many problems. It was like it's like when Phil Fish shows up and he's just like keys, and
Need to
everybody
restart
reaches
this
for the
thing.
keys because they have to reset the game because of the bugs. So, yeah,
They should have called it Roof Jumper. That would draw me in.
No.
Pitfall 3D.
Yeah, if you've got a game that like I need to invest time in, it better be like called Fallout, or I'm not going to do it.
Fallout 4. It's coming.
Wasteland?
Wasteland, I'll play
Wasteland.
that.
But thanks for all the listeners who actually wrote in for some really good questions. And yeah, I mean, I don't. Eric, do you have any more you want to fanboy all over the place?
No,
No?
I'm good. I already said Spewer 2 coming soon.
Yep, heard it here first.
Oh, I have one more question. Where are you guys from?
Oh, we're from the Northeast,
I'm from Ohio.
and I'm from Michigan.
Are those two things by each other?
Yes.
Okay.
We're holding hands. We've actually been jerking each other off the whole time.
Oh man. Okay.
Wait.
That is too far.
Wait, Michigan? Where in Michigan?
Around the Coldwater area. I live literally about 100 feet away from Indiana, in a place called Montgomery.
I just have no idea where any of these things are.
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
I know
Michigan
the
is
shape
the
of
shit.
California.
That's so.
Yeah, we live nowhere near California.
I can find it on the map.
It's a different year over here.
It's outlined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't, because there's no room in the map, don't put Hawaii down.
Yeah, Danielle, for like her whole life, thought that Hawaii was giant because of how big it was on the map.
Oh,
And not only that, she also thought it was really close to the coast because they
It was-
put it zoomed in the square right next to the coastline of California.
And I was like, Tommy,
And Alaska's, what's Alaska doing? It's giant, floating over. It's a giant island over here.
Tommy, North Carolina to Hawaii, that's like nothing.
Was that where it wraps?
It was right, it was
Oh,
floating right
they
underneath it.
tucked it over the Gulf of Mexico?
As soon as I said it, I realized what was happening. So it was too late.
that is gold. That is awesome.
We're never leaving Santa Cruz.
America!
America.
Let's wrap up the show portion.
Yeah.
Ah!
Well,
Woo!
if you're listening to this, if you got any questions, email us at galacticgamingnews@gmail.com. I'm lost of words at this point. Our website is galacticgamingnews.tumblr.com. Check us out on there. Yeah. But thanks.
Our
Thanks.
website,
Yeah, what's your website?
is edplusdanielle.bigcartel.com.
Or you just go to edmundm.com and click shop. That's
Yep.
what I tell people. It's easier.
But again, thanks you guys for coming on tonight.
Thank you!
You guys can plug your tumblers, though. Plug your tumblers.
Oh, plug your tumblers?
Or not tumblers, Twitters.
Twitters?
God damn it,
Twitters?
fuck me.
Oh, you sounded so stupid. Wait,
Oh, I hate my life.
let me plug my MySpace. What?
Plug your fucking MySpaces, guys. Come on, and your Friendsters.
My LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Instagrams.
Our Twitters are Edmund McMillen with 2 N's. McMillen.
McMillan, because somebody hacked me, and then a fan, and I'll put in quotes, a fan said, "Hey, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to sit on your name, and then you just tell me when you need it again." And then I said, "Okay, I need it," and then they don't reply. So I got an extra N. I don't fucking care.
And I am Danielle.
Just
O'Rourke.
fucking search my goddamn name if you care.
Yeah,
Find stuff.
it'll pop up.
Something happens somewhere. If you search Tommy's name, it just says Tommy Reffinus net worth. Because there's that many weird, jealous weirdos out there who want to just... You search my name and it's like, oh, video games, blah, 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 blah. You search Tommy's name and the first results are like, who's Tommy's girlfriend? How much is he worth? How much money does he make? All these fucking weird, jealous program weirdos who
If
like
you put in your
obsess
name,
over
it comes up as the third one, I think, where it says Edmund McMillen net worth. And I was like, why the fuck do people need to know this shit?
It used to be Edmund McMillen gay until the movie came out, and then it's not a search anymore. Sad.
I actually...
Yeah.
I have a screen cap of it. Don't worry. It's my background on my computer. It says Edmund McMillen's gay.
Yeah, good. We're twins.
Yeah. Danielle, what was your Twitter?
Danielle O'Rama.
Oh, there you go. Alrighty, guys.
All right.
And wrap this puppy up. Bye.
Sam.
Bye.